Listen to me. I'm going to start at an 11. Then I'm going to get to a 15 real quick. With my and cold baby shirt. Bully Club. Bully Club. Okay. I wanted to wait to see how all this goes down for the whole week. You're reading this right, the ticker. You're reading this. If you haven't heard and have been recently living in a cave, which considering the state of the world, I don't blame you, Sasha Banks and Naomi walked out on WWE, left the WWE tag title, women's tag titles on John Laurinaitis' desk apparently, and left. I was going to wait to see where this was all going to go. I wanted to see all the details, all the nooks and crannies. I got the articles all here. I got a tweet thread even from someone who follows Naomi and vice versa. And apparently this might be from Naomi, and therefore she published a statement through this account because she said something publicly through her account. WWE's probably going to go crazy over that, so understand that. I'm like, I don't know how the legal system works for corporations and evil power, but okay. So, Sasha and Naomi walked out on WWE because they did not like the creative direction they were being given since they were the women's tag team champions, and they weren't really being taken all that seriously because fuck those belts. They're just spoiled brats and whatnot. We should clearly go ahead and do something different. Which raises the question, why not just make mid-card titles, but okay. For the women, but you know that would have made too much sense and you could have avoided all this. So Sasha Banks and Naomi were not satisfied reportedly to some decisions regarding a six-pack challenge that they were going to have that featured Becky Lynch, Asuka, Doudrop, and Nikki Ash. And it's currently unknown what the plan was. We keep getting conflicting accounts. Was Naomi supposed to win by beating Sasha, or Naomi just supposed to win? I don't know, but they were not going to put the tag titles on any platform for like 2 months or so until Money in the Bank. And Sasha and Naomi were like, no, we don't, like, yeah, that's kind of amazing to hear that when you hear, I do not want to be the women's world champ. I want to take this tag title stuff seriously. Because Sasha has a personal stake in this since she helped bring it back. And yes, I say bring it back because it existed way before all this. Way before Sasha Banks, way before. Sasha and Bayley were the ones that brought it back. They won't acknowledge that kind of logic because if they did, they would have to acknowledge the NWA existed, and that's asking too much in their history. But, and Beth Phoenix mentioned them, so props to Beth Phoenix for going off script and pissing Vince off, no doubt. What's Vince gonna do to Beth Phoenix? Fire her and piss Edge off? Yeah, good luck with that. But yeah, the six-pack challenge was gonna happen, and apparently there was no plans involved in that. They were just like, no cares. And then someone who follows Naomi and Sasha, I'll post the link of their account as well, came out and said, you are approached in February by being put in a tag team after both being promised big feuds at WrestleMania. You bite the bullet and put everything you got into being a tag team. It works, you get over, win the titles at Mania, and become merch pushers. 5 weeks into your reign, show up live on TV ready to work. You are told you will be in the main event, and you are happy. You move for then told one of you will be going over from pinning the other. So that confirms that Naomi was supposed to beat Sasha. You have questions to why the decision was made and how it helps them both. You request a meeting with the boss to discuss it. Your boss takes the meeting and everything is actually going well. Well, he understands your concerns. The meeting ends well and the match is told to be reconstructed. For some reason, producers get mad about it. You then ask if one of your members going over what happens to your titles. You're told basically that you will just be carrying the belts. They want to use you both to help get both women's champions get more over. Bianca versus Naomi, Sasha versus Ronda. Neither one of you will win the solo titles, and you won't defend your tag titles until Money in the Bank. You ask for another meeting with your boss, but this time you are being called spoiled. A producer walks away screaming. He comes back and tells both of you to fix your attitudes. You all have a brief meeting amongst yourselves and decide to stand up for yourselves. You go to another boss and make it clear that you just have concerns. You ask why are we even in the match and why aren't other women in it. You ask why your titles have no stories for 2 months. Again, you are met with fix your attitudes. So after one final meeting with yourselves and asking others, you make the ultimate decision as a team. It's sad how one side is trying to create a effed up narrative. Also, it was asked why were Nikki, Ash, and Doudrop in the match instead of starting their program tonight. Naomi nor Sasha talked down about being in the ring with either one. I don't know how that got flipped. So, yeah, you are saying you are now pushing a narrative that, yeah, WWE did something pretty shocking. They put out a statement for what happened. Oh man, how do I say this delicately? WWE put out a statement that is so anti-wrestling and very gaslighting that you can't help but be shocked they went this far with it. And I must stress, you want to know the last time WWE ever put a gaslighting on wrestlers? When Stone Cold Steve Austin walked out on them in 2002. They haven't done this kind of thing in 20 years. And they still haven't got the whole lesson. Think about it. WWE put out had Vince go out on TV, put out a statement about Stone Cold leaving, walking out on them, and all hell breaks loose. 20 years later, let's see what happened in between the two times. Stone Cold walks out again in 2004 after failing to come to terms with a deal over his creative direction in terms of him being an on-screen character. Let's see. Punk walks away in 2014 because he's pissed off over broken promises. Let's see. Brock Lesnar walked down on WWE in 2015 right before a segment he was supposed to do with Roman Reigns heading into WrestleMania 31 because he was pissed over money, because he doesn't have enough at that time. Really think about that. All those other events, we won't talk about it. We won't gaslight the wrestler. They're top stars to us. Oh, let's also bring up Roman Reigns walked out right before WrestleMania saying, I don't care. I want to be safe for my family. I'm willing to retire from my family because you're not taking the virus seriously. You're not taking the pandemic seriously. Oh, let's not gaslight that situation. Oh, no. We need to have Roman on our good side, but we'll act like we never needed him in the first place on TV and act like he never existed until, we come crawling and begging on our knees. But yeah, WWE posted a statement on the show during Raw and even had Corey Graves. I don't blame Corey Graves entirely on this. I think you should told Vince, no, we can't say that because this is kind of a dangerous idea to put on the fans' mind because now we're pissing them off. They decide to say, Sasha Banks and Naomi unceremoniously and quite unprofessionally walked out. How dare you stand up for yourself? So they put out a statement that has so much bitter contempt for wrestling, it amazes me. When Sasha Banks and Naomi arrived at the arena this afternoon, they were informed of their participation in the main event of tonight's Monday Night Raw. During the broadcast, they walked to the head of talent relations, John Laurinaitis' office, the guy who wants to bring back divas instead of wrestlers. With their suitcases in hand, they placed their tag team title championship belts. Oh, they said belts! Vince is gonna have a fit! Oh man. Oh dear. So, they claimed they weren't respected enough as tag team champions, and even though they had 8 hours to rehearse, you can't say train, you can't say practice. Oh, you have to make it sound like it's a movie. We're making movies. We are Martin Scorsese's. We make cinema of people in their tighty whities wrestling. Grown men. I'm like, we even got someone killed for it. In fact, we've done that multiple times, but I'm surprised we're somehow made it this far in life. So, yeah. And then they do this. They claim they were uncomfortable in the ring with 2 of their opponents, even though they had matches with those individuals in the past with no consequence. First off, that's a lie. That was a lie reported. It was confirmed that was a lie from Vince trying to, twist the narrative a bit to piss everyone off. And Sasha and Naomi, they wanted to fight Doudrop and Nikki Ash. Those were the 2 being mentioned. Those were the 2 that they were planned. They didn't want to do that. Nope. But, gaslighting situation. Also, another issue, apparently this has been built up of a while. Take this with a grain of salt since this is from Dave Meltzer. Another problem Cena contributed was about contracts. Some issue with the contract. I think that more will be coming out as to the why, what they were unhappy about. It wasn't something that just happened tonight. Some of it was building up. Yeah, and they both and a journalist had to come out and point out that both left together. It wasn't Sasha being the leader and Naomi following, because right when this broke out, people who were big fans of Sasha and WWE suddenly turned on her and Naomi, mostly Sasha though, and even Naomi's old tag team partner Cameron all came out and tried to paint the idea that, oh, Sasha's manipulating Naomi. It wasn't her decision. It sucks that she wasn't allowed to fulfill her dreams. Is this the I get the feeling this part was planned by the tribalist side of wrestling and Cameron. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if Vince called everyone up and said, "Let's go ahead and gaslight the situation even more in order to piss Sasha off, because we gotta make the Usos and Roman happy, because remember, Naomi is married to the Usos, and the Usos are family, and they're fighting for Naomi, and they've been trying to get her in the bloodline for months, and they refuse to be given it, and Roman is like, can we just do it? And they're like, no, we can't, because Naomi is Naomi, we don't want to, and blah, 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 and it's just like, oh my god, just put Naomi in the freaking bloodline at this point if they're asking for it. Like, you're denying Roman out of all people, which is kind of saying a lot how much you don't like Naomi, it seems, in my opinion. And the fact that the situation deteriorated even more so. So, oh man. So when they reconstructed the tag title, the six-pack challenge, they decided Naomi was not going to interact with Sasha. They were instead going to have Nikki Ash be the one that gets pinned. And oh god. PW Insider reported that Simon WWE Banks would have entered her own singles title program against Ronda Rousey, which would have resulted in a loss for the boss, because, make the tag titles pointless is another thing. And the fans are all on their side. A lot of the fans are on Sasha and Naomi's side. Well, I think we can safely say Vince has finally got what he wanted and broke the locker room, because now no one apparently is on Sasha Banks' side. There is zero sympathy, saying she's a mark, she's a diva, she's only in it for herself. I mean, like, she just wanted to put people over and put a tag title match on and take the tag title seriously, but fuck that. Jimmy Uso is said to be sticking up for Naomi and everything like that. Sure, somebody internally is going to do whatever, but I do not have not heard one person, no one sticking up for Sasha and Naomi. And not only are they not sticking up for them, but boy, have I heard a lot of terms thrown around. Most of them are derivative of the word mark, effing mark, a mark to a degree that is unfathomable. I have heard zero support for Sasha Banks in this situation, so quite frankly, you can get mad at me if you want. I've been a lot nicer on this show than anything I've heard from people in WWE over the last 24 hours. Hey, if you want to come after me, then go for it. Zero support, I'm talking zero. Brian Alvarez came out and said that. It's funny because I haven't heard anyone say anything about Naomi, and she walked out too. It's all about Sasha. I've heard it all. Mark, Diva, the list goes on and on. There's zero support for Sasha Banks walking out of WWE over all this. People are furious. They think it's ridiculous. They think that she's whatever. So that's the story. Where this goes, I don't know, but literally every single bit of support that I've seen for Sasha coming out of this has been either from people in a company that worked there last night, that's it, or fans. Actual co-workers have zero sympathy with what happened here. I think they should probably tell you something. Again, we largely have the official WWE side of the story. And yeah, that's the point. WWE's putting up the narrative. Naomi only has probably vaguely given out details to someone who she follows to publish, because she can't say anything because there's probably a non-disclosure agreement and confidentiality bullshit and whatnot that Vince doesn't want published, because it'll make him look bad. He'll sue them for defamation probably, because he's that vindictive. And considering what's happened throughout this whole week, you've had Stephanie McMahon walked out. She also left. She's taking a leave of absence. I must point that out. She didn't quit, but at this point, it looks like it should just go that way. Triple H is back full time, but really, he has nothing left to do in WWE. He's not being allowed to do anything. He can't work NXT as much as he used to, because they told him, go F yourself. How dare you do this? And we're going to take advantage of your condition in order to destroy your precious baby. Then we got Nick Khan, the most powerful Khan in WWE currently ascending to godhood essentially in his eyes, taking Stephanie's positions of power. So Shay's been fired, Stephanie's walked away, Triple H has little influence in the WWE. I think we can safely say Nick Khan's the next successor of WWE. So yeah, you obviously know they're not gonna fire Sasha and Naomi because oh man. This is the part where things get interesting. So Fightful Select also said that they also had noted that there was zero sympathy, but there were some wrestlers who did secretly support, but were basically not being happy about the whole issue. But saying they walk out and find stuff, and I was like, oh, you're playing the neutral card, as in you're appeasing your oppressor. Got it. And Carmella had to come out and provide a defense for Corey Graves, saying, imagine still living in a world where you think he just says whatever he wants. He does his job, period. Even I knew he was being forced by Vince to say these horrible things. So, yeah. And they're not going to fire Sasha and Naomi. There was reportedly saying, if I had to explain it, Naomi's contract is said to be expiring soon, and Sasha's contract might be also expiring soon. But it was said, had this been a different time, Naomi, Sasha would have been fired, and they even referenced Charlotte and the title fiasco that happened with Becky. Oh, yeah, let's talk about that. They did never address that, so fuck that, right? So Charlotte, they referenced that had this been a different time, Charlotte would have been fired for what she did a few months ago over the title belt exchange. So, and you know what I mean, and you know what they mean by saying, if this was a different time. Translation: if this was before 2019, if this was before All Elite Wrestling happened, we're gonna be okay with wrestlers being disrespectful to us if it means AEW doesn't get them. Do you even know if Sasha wants to still wrestle? I mean, let's be real here. Sasha is already have enough money in the bank. She could just quit wrestling right now. She's 30 years old. She could go do Hollywood. She could stick around for Star Wars. She could sign a deal and have her own show if she could make that, if she has enough pull in behind the scenes. She has Snoop Dogg connections. Her family is literally Snoop Dogg. She has the connections. She can make it. She doesn't need WWE. WWE needs her, honestly. And even people who were pro WWE were coming out and saying that this was bullshit, which is saying a lot. Like, I've seen tribalists, I won't mention their names because if they come after me then I'm gonna be annoyed as all hell, even certain tribalists that I have known in the past came out and said, Vince, you are wrong. Sasha, Naomi, just give them respect. Please know, these are people who would die for Vince. They are people who would declare their love for Vince in the most over-the-top fashion, and even they're saying, Vince, you effed up big time. It's almost hilarious when you see that. The last time, this is not even that long ago, the last time he did this. They got pissed when Karrion Kross and Scarlett Bordeaux got fired, and they were like, they were everything you wanted, Vince. They did have the wrestling ability. Sure, we could still have that debate on that. But hell, they had great aesthetics, they had great entrance, they had great music, they had the blonde that you love so much, they have the humble pie, American pie, I almost said America, fuck yeah. And you fire them? You fire Keith Lee? What's wrong with you? But finally, everything came to a head tonight. Michael Cole came out under the orders of Vince McMahon the First. I'm like, he's not going to acknowledge his dad's dead. I'm like, he probably doesn't even want to acknowledge he exists. Because he didn't give him what he wanted as a kid. Anyways, Michael Cole said in a commentary, in a public statement, the second public statement they've done, they didn't even do that with Stone Cold. They did one big statement. That was it. Then they fired. Then they, oh god. Kind of amazing how much Sasha and Naomi have gotten in Vince's head at this point. Cole said, their actions disappointed millions of WWE fans and their fellow superstars. The wrestlers, since there's said to be zero sympathy for her, and there are some who are just playing a different card. Yeah, that sounds about right. But the millions of fans, yeah, everyone's still pissed at you, Vince. So because of what Sasha and Naomi did this past Monday night, they have been suspended indefinitely, and we will have a future tournament to crown the new women's tag team champions. Hold up! What was that last part? And we will have a future tournament to crown the new women's tag team champions. You don't even have that many tag teams. So wait, does that mean you're going to invest in the tag team division, albeit very small and probably finite? You're going to do what Sasha and Naomi were asking for, but because they're not involved, you can be vindictive about it? Oh. Bravo, you hypocritical bastards. Oh, I am so glad I don't watch these guys anymore. Oh, and if you think the situation is getting worse, here's how bad it got. I went and looked into this. They have removed Sasha and Naomi's merch from the site. Everything. There is no results. If you search it on the WWEshop.com, there will be nothing. They will say, sorry, nothing found for Sasha Banks. Sorry, nothing found for Naomi. All of it. All of it completely gone. They just threw all that merch away. Oh, Vince, your vindictiveness knows no bounds. Heck, even Stone Cold didn't even get that. They waited like a month or two when the sales went up, when they realized, wait, Stone Cold's merch is still going up and it's still the highest record-selling thing? Okay, let's wait about a month or two and then we can pull it. Still get some cash out of this. This is, that tells you how bad this is. They did pull Stone Cold's merch when he walked the first time, but not instantaneously. Note that they waited a few weeks or a month or two, then they pulled it. Sasha and Naomi, no, let's pull it now. I'm like, we could make some extra cash out of this, but let's pull it now. That's how bad Naomi and Sasha have gotten to Vince's head. Oh, Vince, you sad man. Like, you want? It's not surprising the wrestlers from AEW are all like, "We're on Sasha's side and Naomi's side 100%." Even Booker T came out and believes that we should hear Sasha and Naomi's side of the story instead of taking Vince's credit. Oh, even Booker T and Mark Henry are coming out and saying, we should hear the other side. We're just hearing Vince's side. Let's hear their side first before we cast true full-fledged judgment. Even though everything seems to indicate that Sasha and Naomi were being fucked over big time by the creative management. Oh, you even have your PR spokespeople going against you. Oh God, Vince. Oh God, what have you done? Oh man. I haven't had a video like this in a while. Like, I gotta be real, I haven't had a video this long in such a while. Nobody knows the troubles I see. Nobody knows but Sasha and Naomi. I'll shut up now about that. Oh, it's amazing how bad this got. I am curious as to know what they're gonna do now with Sasha and Naomi. Like, Naomi, do I think we'll see Naomi back? Roman, the Usos prioritization, like the Usos just won the tag team title unification match. No, just as shocked as you are on that they actually held through their end of the bargain. But moving on. But let's get this right. But Sasha, yeah, I think this is it. I think this is it. Like, Sasha can just go talk to Snoop Dogg like, hey Snoop, I'm already dealing with Star Wars stuff. I have to wait till Mandalorian season 3 can start production. So can I do something? Do you have anything in mind? Yes, Sasha, I got something for you. I'm probably a little high. Oh, that reminds me. Snoop Dogg's probably not going to do business with them now after this. If Sasha and Vince don't work it out, they've lost Snoop Dogg probably. Or else it would be very awkward when Snoop Dogg shows up backstage and Vince is like, "You're related to Sasha?" Because let's be real, Vince probably doesn't even know who half his talent names are. Remember Drew Galloway? They didn't know his name for 6 months when he was first signed to WWE. That should tell you something when they had to come up with Drew McIntyre on the fly. Oh man. So we're gonna follow this story for a little bit. We'll see how that goes. We'll see how this whole situation handles it. I just wanted to wait a week until we got something more deep, more substantial meat to this story instead of just a reactionary video of mine. Oh god, this is so bad. I feel. Sasha and Naomi, good luck. You're probably gonna really need it. Oh man. We'll have to see what happens next. Anyways, everyone, this was New Reality Entertainment, the WrestleVerse. Feel free to like, comment, subscribe to the content in the description below. Stay tuned for more. I'll see you all next time. Peace and take care and have a good day. And I'll see you all next time. Take care.